Changing your life doesn't happen by accident. It happens because of the daily choices you make, the habits you build, and the effort you put in. This video will share 10 habits that can make a real difference in how you live, how you think, and how you grow. These are not complicated ideas or empty advice. They are simple actions that anyone can take. Starting today, imagine waking up with more energy, clearer focus, and a stronger mindset every single day. Imagine making decisions that bring you closer to your goals, instead of drifting without direction. This isn't about quick fixes or magic formulas. It's about practical habits that build lasting change. If you're ready to take control of your future and step into a better version of yourself, keep watching. These 10 habits could be the turning point you've been looking for. Let's get started. Number 1. Wake up early and plan your entire day. The first habit that will truly change your life is this. Wake up early and plan your entire day. It sounds simple, but it holds a power most people never take seriously. People often talk about wanting more control, more time, more results, but they miss the first step. That step starts the moment your eyes open in the morning. It starts with a decision. When you wake up early, you're not just getting up before the sun. You're choosing to be ahead of the noise, ahead of the distractions, ahead of the pressure. Most people sleep until the world wakes them, and when that happens, the world runs them. They jump straight into obligations, messages, deadlines, and problems. They start from the back foot, but when you wake up early, you flip the script. You start your day. You don't let it start you. Now, waking up early doesn't mean waking up at some extreme hour. It just means earlier than you normally do. It means rising before the chaos begins. Even 30 minutes can make a massive difference, because in that time, something important happens. You start thinking for yourself. You gain mental space. You feel your own presence again. That silence in the morning allows you to reconnect with your purpose. And that's the next part. Plan your day. This is not about listing chores or tasks randomly. Planning your day means getting clear on what you want to accomplish, how you want to feel, and what kind of energy you want to carry. It's setting a direction. A day without direction becomes a day full of distractions. You might stay busy, but you won't move forward. Sit down with a notebook or whatever works for you. Write out what matters most. Ask yourself, what are the 3 most important things I need to get done today? What should I avoid to protect my focus? What kind of person do I want to be while I do it? That's what real planning looks like. It's not just about time. It's about intention. It's about self-respect. See, most people are busy, but unproductive. They do 100 things and accomplish nothing meaningful. The day ends, and they're tired but empty. That's what happens when you don't plan. But when you begin with a plan, your mind gets clear. You move with reason. You act instead of react. That's how progress starts. One intentional day at a time. You'll feel it too. That sense of calm in the morning. That quiet discipline. It's not loud. It's not flashy. But it's steady. It builds confidence. When you wake up early and set your plan, you walk into the day with a certain posture. People notice. They can sense that you're not scattered. You're centered. That affects how you speak, how you work, and how you make decisions. It also teaches you something about commitment. Because there will be days when it's hard. Days when your body says stay in bed. Days when your mind wants to take it easy. But if you still get up, still plan, you're training more than your schedule. You're training your character. And that builds something strong inside you. That strength shows up in other areas of your life, in how you handle problems, in how you lead, in how you live. You'll also start to notice time differently. When you plan your day, You see where your hours actually go. You see what drains you and what lifts you. You start removing the waste. You stop doing things that don't add value. You stop giving your time to people and situations that don't serve your growth. That clarity creates momentum because progress feels good. And once you feel it, you want more. Now, this doesn't mean your day will always go exactly as planned. Things will come up. Interruptions will happen. But here's the key. Having a plan doesn't mean you're rigid. It means you're ready. You can adjust without getting lost. You can stay grounded even when the schedule shifts. That's the difference between control and chaos. That's what makes this habit so valuable. You're no longer a passenger in your own life. This habit builds discipline, and discipline changes everything. Not just your results, but your mindset. You start to believe in yourself again. You start trusting that you can build the kind of life you want. Because every day, you're proving it to yourself, one early morning at a time, one plan at a time. You're no longer hoping things will work out. You're showing up to make them happen. You start winning before the world wakes up. You're ahead, not behind. You're choosing your pace. That's powerful. And it adds up. One day becomes two. Two becomes a week. A week becomes a month. Then one day, you look back and realize your life looks different. You're more focused. You're calmer. You're growing. And it all started with one decision: to wake up early and plan your day. So if you want to take control, if you want to feel proud of how you live, start here. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is when your eyes open. Get up. Take that time for yourself. Plan your day with care. Choose your direction. Because the life you want isn't built in big moments. It's built in small ones. Repeated with consistency. Wake up early. Sit with yourself. Be honest about what matters. Choose your focus. Guard your time. Follow through. That's how the day becomes yours. And when you master the day, you start changing the life. Number 2, exercise daily to strengthen both body and mind. One of the most powerful habits that can truly transform how you live, how you feel, and how you think is daily exercise. I'm not talking about becoming a professional athlete or spending hours in the gym. I'm talking about moving your body with intention every single day. It's not about having time. It's about making your health a priority. Your body is the foundation for your actions, and your mind depends on the energy your body provides. Most people wait until something goes wrong with their health before they start to pay attention to it. But you can't afford to wait. When your body is weak, your decisions suffer. Your emotions become harder to manage. Your focus slips. You feel tired even before the day begins. That's no way to live. You have to take control while you still can. You have to respect the connection between your physical strength and your mental clarity. Exercise gives you energy, not just for your body, but for your thoughts. When you train your body, your mind becomes sharper. You respond better to pressure. You stay composed in difficult moments. You recover faster from setbacks. It's not just about lifting weights or doing cardio. It's about building a system inside you that can carry your goals, your challenges, and your responsibilities. The moment you begin to move your body, your mind starts to shift. The fog clears. You feel awake. You feel alive. There's something powerful about breaking a sweat. It reminds you that you are capable of effort, that you can push through resistance, that you are not stuck. You are not fragile. You can take action, even when it's uncomfortable. And that feeling changes how you approach your day. There's no perfect workout. There's no ideal method. The key is consistency. Walk, run, stretch, train, whatever gets your body moving. Do it with purpose. Do it with discipline. It doesn't need to be complicated. What matters is that you show up. What matters is that you keep the promise to yourself. Because every time you exercise, you're proving something important, that you care enough to act. Your body responds to how you feed it poorly, neglect it, ignore it, and you'll feel that in your energy, your emotions, your thoughts. But when you move, when you challenge yourself physically, your whole system starts working differently. You rest better. You think more clearly. You react less emotionally. You become more stable. And stability is strength. Daily exercise also builds patience. It teaches you how to work through discomfort. That discipline transfers into other areas of life. You become more focused in your work. You become more calm in your relationships. You gain self-control, and self-control leads to better decisions. That's how one habit can ripple out and influence everything else. There's also a sense of pride that comes with taking care of your body. Not pride in how you look, but pride in how you live. You're choosing effort over ease. You're choosing commitment over comfort. That choice strengthens your identity. And when your identity grows stronger, your life starts to match it. And it's not about doing everything perfectly. Some days you'll feel tired. Some days the workout will feel harder than usual. That's normal. That's part of the process. What matters is that you don't give in to excuses. You stay in motion. Even a short session is better than none. The goal is to make movement a non-negotiable part of your day. Just like eating or sleeping. People often think they need motivation to exercise. But the truth is, motivation comes after movement, not before it. Action leads to energy. Effort creates momentum. Waiting to feel ready is a trap. You act first, and the feeling follows. That's how habits are built. That's how strength is developed. By showing up on the days when it's easier not to. And you'll notice the results. Not just in your body but in your mood, your focus, your attitude. You'll start to see yourself differently. You'll trust yourself more. You'll realize that effort is always worth it. That progress is earned through consistency, not bursts of inspiration. That's a truth most people never learn. This habit also teaches you something else. Control. When you control your physical habits, you start to feel in control of your life. That sense of control removes anxiety. It gives you stability. It gives you something solid to stand on when life feels uncertain. And that foundation helps you stay steady. Even during storms. When your body is strong, your goals don't seem so far away. When your mind is clear, your path becomes easier to follow. And all of that starts with movement. With the decision to take care of the only body you'll ever have. Not someday. Not next year. Now exercise is not a punishment. It's a gift. It's a chance to reconnect with your power. To remind yourself that you are alive. That you can still grow. That no matter how tired or busy you feel, you still have the ability to push forward. That mindset doesn't come from talking about it. It comes from doing it. Every day you train. You build more than muscle. You build character. You build focus. You build endurance. And those qualities don't just live in the gym. They follow you everywhere. They show up in your work, in your discipline, in your persistence. That's why this habit matters. Because it changes who you are, not just how you look. If you want to live with purpose, you need a body that can carry that purpose. You need energy. You need strength. You need clarity. Daily exercise gives you that. It won't solve every problem, but it gives you the strength to face them. And over time, that strength becomes your new normal. You stop avoiding effort. You start embracing it. Because you know what it gives you in return. Number 3. Read every day to expand your knowledge. Reading is one of the simplest habits, yet it has the power to separate the successful from the stagnant. Not because reading is flashy, not because it instantly gives you rewards, but because it feeds your mind in a way that few other things can. When you read daily, you give yourself the opportunity to grow. You allow your thinking to improve. You expose yourself to ideas, strategies, and lessons that can shift your entire direction. A person who reads every day is not the same a year from now. Their perspective evolves. their decisions improve. Their understanding deepens. Life becomes less confusing. You can't build a better life without building a better mind. And to build a better mind, you need to give it quality input. You can't expect sharp thinking if all you feed your brain is noise. The world is filled with distractions. Most of what people consume daily is surface level, headlines, gossip, trends, things that pass quickly and offer no lasting value. Reading is different. It requires you to slow down. It demands focus, and that process alone sharpens your thinking. It helps you practice attention in a world addicted to speed and shortcuts. Every time you pick up a book, you're making a quiet but powerful statement. You're saying that your development matters. You're saying that your mind deserves better than just survival. You're choosing progress, and that choice puts you in a different category. Not above others, but ahead of who you used to be. There's something special about sitting down with a book. It's you and the words. No noise, no rush, no filters, just pure information, pure wisdom, pure thought. And the more you expose yourself to good thinking, the more your own thinking improves. That's how you sharpen your decisions. That's how you learn to solve problems faster. You take in better ideas, and those ideas work inside you even after you put the book down. You don't need to read 100 pages a day. You don't need to race through books just to say you've read them. Even 10 pages a day, read with focus and interest, can reshape the way you look at life. Because one powerful idea can change how you handle challenges. One insight can unlock a solution you've been searching for. That's the value of consistent reading. It compounds. You don't just gain information, you train your brain to seek truth, to ask better questions, to think more deeply. That changes the way you speak. It changes the way you lead. It improves how you listen. And when you become a better listener, you become a better learner. You stop reacting, and you start understanding. Reading also builds confidence. When you study a subject, when you understand how something works, you no longer guess your way through it. You speak from clarity. You act with certainty. That shows in your work, in your relationships, in your choices. People notice when you're informed. They notice when you think before you speak. That level of understanding earns trust. Some of the most successful people in the world have one thing in common. They never stopped learning. They read because they know the mind doesn't grow on its own. It needs input. It needs challenge. It needs to be fed. Reading is how you feed it, without relying on the outside world. It's how you take ownership of your growth. And it doesn't always have to be serious books. You can read biographies, business books, psychology, history, philosophy. Even fiction has value. It sharpens imagination. It teaches empathy. It helps you understand human behavior. The key is to choose material that stretches your thinking, that adds depth to your understanding. This habit also teaches you discipline. Sitting down to read, when there are 100 other things pulling for your attention, is not easy, but the effort strengthens your focus. It teaches you to value quiet progress over loud distraction. That's a rare skill, and it's one that pays off in every area of life. When you read daily, you stop depending on others for answers. You build your own foundation of knowledge. You ask better questions. You see patterns. You notice opportunities that others miss. That level of awareness sets you apart. Not because you're trying to impress anyone, but because you're choosing to live with more clarity. Reading also gives you perspective. It takes you out of your limited view and shows you how other people think, how other lives unfold, how different paths lead to different results. That perspective can save you from costly mistakes. It can remind you that you're not alone. It can show you how others overcame the same challenges you're facing now. And let's not forget, reading trains your mind to sit with complexity. Not everything in life is simple or easy to understand. Some problems require you to think for more than a few minutes. Some challenges don't have quick solutions. Reading prepares you for that. It teaches patience. It teaches process. It shows you how to work through confusion without giving up. When you build the habit of reading every day, you slowly build a library inside you, a collection of ideas, strategies, and principles that you can draw from whenever life gets hard. That's a form of strength that doesn't fade. It doesn't depend on luck or circumstances. It's built from within. Your thoughts shape your actions. Your actions shape your result. And your thoughts are shaped by what you allow into your mind. Reading gives you the power to choose better thoughts, to feed your mind with truth, wisdom, and clarity, to sharpen your direction instead of wandering through your days, hoping something changes. A person who reads daily is not the same as someone who doesn't. Not because they're more intelligent, but because they're more informed. They think further. They prepare better. They stay grounded. They adapt faster. They grow, while others repeat the same cycles over and over. If you want to rise above average thinking, start reading more. If you want to strengthen your mental clarity, read daily. If you want to lead your life instead of following the crowd, feed your mind with better ideas. One page at a time, one book at a time. Let that habit sharpen you until your thinking becomes your strongest advantage. Number 4, practice gratitude to shift your mindset positively. Every day, no matter who you are or what you're going through, you are surrounded by things you often take for granted. You wake up with breath in your lungs. You have another shot at life, another opportunity to get it right. But too many people start their days in frustration. They think about what's missing, what's wrong, and what's unfair. They let their energy slip into complaints and negativity without even realizing it. And what happens next? That mindset starts shaping their decisions, their behavior, and their results. Gratitude doesn't erase problems. It doesn't magically fix everything. But it gives you the mindset to face your life with strength instead of weakness. When you learn to focus on what's right instead of obsessing over what's wrong, your attitude changes. And when your attitude changes, your actions follow. That's how a person begins to grow. Not just by doing more, but by thinking differently. Practicing gratitude is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about acknowledging what is already good, already working, already present. Because when your mind is trained to find what's working, you begin to create momentum. And that momentum helps you face challenges without feeling hopeless. It helps you respond to stress without falling apart. It gives you balance when life gets unstable. Most people think gratitude is something you feel after something big happens. But the real power is in practicing it daily, especially on the ordinary days. When you can find reasons to be thankful in the middle of routine, you build emotional strength. You stop needing big wins to feel good. You stop waiting for the perfect moment to feel peace. You learn to feel grounded where you are, even as you work towards something more. Gratitude doesn't mean you stop improving. It doesn't mean you stop setting goals. It simply means you learn to appreciate the journey while you're in it. That attitude makes your growth more sustainable. Because if you only feel good when you achieve something, your happiness will always be delayed. But if you can find peace in progress, in small steps, you gain more control over your emotions. There's a simple truth here. The mind looks for what it's trained to see. If you constantly focus on what's wrong, your mind will find more of it. If you start each day searching for what's right, your awareness will shift. Your energy will follow your focus. That's not theory, it's daily life. You don't need a scientific formula to feel the difference. You just need to try it. Start your day by writing down 3 things you're grateful for. Keep it simple. Don't wait for something dramatic. Just look around. A roof over your head. A person who supports you. A skill you've developed. The ability to try again today. The fact that you're still here. These things matter more than you think. And when you write them down, you reinforce them. You remind yourself of what's already strong. The mind forgets easily, especially when it's busy or under stress. Gratitude is a way of reminding yourself where the strength still lives. It brings you back to center. It helps you stay grounded when life tries to pull you in different directions. That's why it's not just a feel-good idea. It's a strategic tool. It keeps you focused on what supports you instead of what drains you. When you practice gratitude daily, you also start treating people differently. You become more patient, more compassionate. You stop taking others for granted. You notice effort. You see the good in people. That creates stronger relationships. It improves how you connect, how you listen, and how you support others. Gratitude makes you a better friend, a better partner, a better leader. It also gives you perspective. When you're grateful, you step outside the bubble of frustration. You remember that your life is made up of more than one bad moment. One mistake doesn't define your worth. One loss doesn't erase your potential. Gratitude helps you zoom out. You see the full picture, not just the problem in front of you. And over time, this way of thinking becomes natural. You stop forcing it. You start living it. You walk into each day with a steadier mind. You stop chasing happiness in the future and start recognizing it in the present. That shift changes everything, from how you deal with failure to how you celebrate success. This habit doesn't require time, money, or approval. You don't need permission to be grateful. You don't need perfect conditions. All you need is the willingness to pause and notice, to look at what you have instead of what you lack, to speak about what's going well instead of only what's difficult. Gratitude is not weakness. It's not softness. It's strength. It's the ability to hold appreciation and ambition at the same time. You can be grateful and still hungry for growth. You can be content and still working hard. Gratitude just gives you a better foundation, a better state of mind to handle whatever comes next. When you train your mind to find what's good, you stop depending on circumstances for your peace. You stop giving your emotional power to every external situation. That makes you resilient, because when you stop chasing peace and start choosing it, you become more stable, more focused, more calm. You don't have to wait for a perfect day to feel thankful. That's the mistake most people make. They wait. And while they wait, they waste time. Gratitude is not something you find, it's something you practice. And like any skill, it becomes stronger the more you use it. This simple act, done every day, changes how you carry yourself. You walk differently. You speak with more presence. You lead with more humility. You make decisions from a grounded place. People feel that. They respect it. And more importantly, you respect yourself. In the end, gratitude builds a mindset that's hard to shake. Life will still be unpredictable. Challenges will still show up. But with this mindset, you're not shaken so easily. You're not pulled in every direction. You stand stronger, you see clearer, and you respond from a place of strength, not fear. Number 5. Set daily goals and track your progress. Each day presents itself as an opportunity to shape your future. And the most straightforward method to do that is by setting clear goals and keeping track of your steps along the way. From the moment you begin your day, you have the power to decide what you want to achieve. And when you focus on that determination, you find that purpose becomes your reality. Goals serve as the guiding light that tells you where to direct your energy. They are the benchmarks by which you measure each moment and use every second to move ahead. Beginning your day with a defined list of objectives lays the groundwork for success. It isn't about overwhelming yourself with too many tasks. It is about singling out the priorities that truly drive growth in your life. By knowing your targets for the day, you are saying to yourself, I understand what matters and I commit to making it happen. That act of clarity is the first strong step toward building momentum. When you carefully outline what must be done, you provide a clear direction for the mind to follow, creating both focus and energy that carry throughout the day. When you take a few moments in the morning to record your intended actions, you lay out a blueprint for the hours ahead. Your plan not only defines what you need to accomplish, but also offers a structure that helps eliminate the distractions that try to capture your time. Instead of wandering through the day, unsure of what steps to take, you can follow a tangible outline that reminds you of your commitment to progress. Writing down your goals isn't merely an act of scheduling tasks. It is an affirmation that you are actively creating your future with the choices you make. Tracking your progress is equally important, for it is through this practice that you learn to understand the impact of your action. Every completed task is a step forward, and when you mark that progress, you reinforce the habit of achievement. With each tick on your list, you build confidence in your abilities. This habit molds you into a person who not only dreams, but also does. Your improvements become visible over time, which nurtures a sense of satisfaction and encourages you to continue on the path of self-improvement. Keeping a record of your activities helps you see patterns in your work. You begin to notice when distractions take over, when you're most efficient, and where you can modify your approach. Observing these changes over time enables you to fine-tune your methods, ensuring that each day is better organized and more productive than the last. It is this continuous process of reflection that transforms simple actions into a powerful force for change. There is tremendous value in learning how your days build up into weeks, months, and eventually years of progress that you can look back upon with pride. When you set daily goals, you make a promise to yourself that you value your time. You declare that every minute matters and every action counts towards your long-term vision. These daily promises accumulate to become the foundation of a successful life. The discipline required for planning and tracking instills in you a sense of accountability. You start to trust yourself more deeply because you can see on paper your growth and your ability to tackle challenges one day at a time. There is a quiet, persistent power in taking small, measured steps every day. Over time, the repeated success of accomplishing these goals builds a momentum that carries you through the toughest challenge. You might decide on specific tasks for a morning or set aside blocks of time dedicated solely to working on your most critical projects. This approach, when practiced consistently, sharpens your sense of priority. With every task you check off your list, you create an environment where your efforts are rewarded, not by external forces, but by your own sense of achievement. Tracking this progress serves as a reminder that you are in control of your journey. It transforms the abstract notion of dreams into achievable and measurable milestones, letting you see clearly that each day is a stepping stone towards something greater. The process of setting daily goals is like charting a course that guides you steadily toward a destination you have already envisioned. Without a clear pathway, time can slip away unnoticed, leaving you wondering how you reached the point where the day ended without any significant stride. However, when your day is organized by goals, you have the satisfaction of watching your life move forward with clear intent. This not only improves your productivity, but also offers emotional comforts. Observing your progress builds a solid sense of purpose that keeps you motivated even when obstacles appear along the way. When you maintain this habit, you develop an inner dialogue of self-improvement. You get into the practice of asking yourself in quiet moments, what did I do today that has brought me closer to my long-term vision? It is a practice that affirms that every small commitment you make is worthy of recognition. Each completed goal stands as proof that your actions can and do make a difference. With this practice, you begin to relish the process of taking incremental steps forward, knowing that the sum of these actions will eventually lead to a life replete with achievement and fulfillment. In making your goals tangible and your progress measurable, you set yourself apart from a life of mere routine. Routine can be comforting, but without intention, it also slows growth. By focusing on specific trackable outcomes, You ensure that every day is a building block in a larger structure of success. This habit pushes you to not only do what needs to be done, but also to analyze how it is done, so you can continuously refine and adjust your methods to perform at your best. The act of recording your achievements, no matter how small they may seem, is the cornerstone of building self-trust and resilience. Each time you note a milestone, you are reminded that you have what it takes to advance towards your goal. That written record becomes a source of inspiration, one that you can revisit when challenges threaten your progress. It is a testament to your commitment and the tangible proof of your dedication to personal improvement. Over time, these documented successes create a reservoir of motivation that you can tap into whenever you need an extra push. As you integrate this habit into your daily routine, you start to transform not just your external productivity, but your internal mindset as well. You begin to view obstacles as opportunities and setbacks as lessons. The act of setting clear goals and tracking every bit of progress leads to a heightened awareness of your own capabilities. It serves as a constant reminder that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. Your achievements, both large and small, craft a narrative of success that fuels future endeavors. With each day that ends, you carry the satisfaction of knowing that you have been proactive. You see a quantifiable record of your commitment to growth and the undeniable impact of your disciplined actions. The routine of setting daily goals and noting your successes makes you more efficient at understanding where your strengths lie and where improvement is needed. This journey, marked by the progress in each day, encourages you to maintain the high standards you set for yourself, continuously driving you to aim higher and work smarter. Every moment invested in planning and reflecting on your day becomes an investment in your future. Over time, these habits fortify the belief that progress is built on consistent, small actions. This realization transforms how you look at challenges and opportunity. It creates an environment in which every day is seen as a chance to exceed the previous one, where each effort contributes to a more balanced and accomplished version of yourself. The reality you shape is one where daily diligence becomes the engine of lasting success. Number 6, avoid distractions and focus on deep work. There comes a point where progress demands more than effort. It demands undivided attention. In a world filled with alerts, noise, and constant interruptions, choosing to focus deeply isn't easy, but it's essential. Distractions don't just steal minutes from your day. They break your momentum, weaken your clarity, and divide your energy across tasks that often have no real value. Deep work, the kind of work that requires full mental presence and focus, is becoming more rare. But it's also becoming more valuable. It's the skill that separates those who move forward from those who stay stuck. When you train yourself to concentrate fully on one task at a time, you begin to experience a shift in the quality of your work. You get more done in less time, and what you produce carries a level of depth and thoughtfulness that can't be reached when your mind is fragmented. To do that, you must protect your attention like it's your most valuable asset. Because it is. Every time you get pulled away by a notification or fall into scrolling without intention, you're giving up small pieces of your potential. Over time, these moments add up and rob you of the results that come only from sustained effort. Deep work doesn't happen by accident. You have to create the space for it. That might mean turning off your phone completely or stepping away from environments filled with distractions. It might mean setting clear boundaries with others so they know when not to interrupt. It requires you to make deliberate choices about how and where you work. These are not easy changes to make in the beginning, but once you start to notice the difference in your focus and the results it brings, you begin to crave that state of clarity. It becomes a kind of mental sanctuary, an environment where you think clearly, solve problems faster, and make real progress. You don't need more hours in the day. You need to make better use of the hours you already have. And that starts with eliminating what doesn't serve your goal. You have to ask yourself, How often do I allow meaningless distractions to take over the hours meant for growth? Whether it's checking social media too often, replying to messages that could wait, or jumping from task to task without finishing anything, these habits slowly pull you away from the work that truly matters. Once you recognize this, the next step is learning to say no. No to distractions. No to things that waste your time. No to shallow activity that feels like work, but moves you nowhere. The ability to focus deeply is like a muscle. If you don't use it, it gets weak. But if you train it, if you exercise your discipline every day, your concentration becomes stronger. You begin to feel less anxious, more in control. Tasks that once felt overwhelming become manageable because you're giving them your full attention. And what you build from that kind of focused effort is not just better, it lasts longer. It's real work, the kind that has meaning and purpose behind it. That's what makes deep work so different. It's not just about doing things faster, it's about doing them better, with full intent and undivided effort. The world rewards those who can sit down, block out the noise, and focus on solving real problems. Whether you're creating, studying, planning, or building something that matters, the results come from your ability to shut out everything else and go all in. Multitasking might make you feel productive, but it actually divides your energy and dilutes your thinking. You can't operate at your highest level when your attention is scattered in a dozen directions. What you need is a system that brings structure to your time and clarity to your action. That system begins when you commit to doing one thing at a time, with everything you've got. Many people drift through their days, reacting to whatever grabs their attention first. They begin tasks but don't finish them. They switch from one screen to another, losing minutes that turn into hours. But once you begin to take control of your attention, you begin to take control of your life. The habit of deep work isn't just about productivity. It builds your character. It teaches you patience. It trains you to delay gratification. And it reminds you that mastery comes from full involvement, not passive participation. Start by creating periods of your day where nothing else matters except the task in front of you. Let people know you're unavailable during that time. Block access to websites that distract you. Turn off every sound and vibration that pulls your mind away. Begin with 30 minutes if you have to. Then stretch it to an hour, 2 hours, and beyond. You'll be surprised how much you can get done when nothing is pulling at your attention. You'll notice your thinking gets clearer, your ideas more organized. You'll start solving problems faster, because you're not trying to juggle a dozen things at once. You're all in. Even your emotional state starts to shift. When you're fully present in your work, there's no room for overthinking or self-doubt. You enter a rhythm that blocks out the noise of worry. You lose yourself in the process and find calm in the focus. This isn't just about achieving more. It's about experiencing your work differently. It's about building a lifestyle that honors attention, values time, and respects the effort it takes to do something well. Train your mind to resist the urge to check everything constantly. If it's not urgent, it can wait. Create pockets of silence in your day. No music, no conversation, no browsing, just the task. Let your mind settle into it. Let yourself become fully immersed. You'll find it easier to enter flow states, where time seems to stretch and your productivity skyrocket. In those moments, you begin to realize what you're capable of. When you stop letting distractions lead the way. Give your work the attention it deserves. Give your dreams the focus they need to become real. Don't let the habit of distraction steal your potential. Make it a daily commitment to create space for deep work, even when it feels inconvenient. Especially when it feels inconvenient. That's when it matters the most. Focus isn't something you find. It's something you create with intention, effort, and discipline. It's not always comfortable, but it always pays off. Number 7. Sleep on time to reset your energy levels. Your body is not a machine. It needs rest. Real, uninterrupted, high-quality rest. When you don't give yourself enough sleep, you're not just tired. You're unfocused, unmotivated, and emotionally imbalanced. One of the most powerful changes you can make in your life is to sleep on time and let your body recover. It sounds simple, but it requires serious discipline. Most people underestimate how sleep directly affects their mindset, decisions, and physical performance. Sleep isn't wasted time. It's where your mind and body recharge for the next day's demands. Without it, everything suffers. Your focus, your discipline, your emotional stability, your creativity, and your ability to keep pushing forward. Sleeping on time isn't just about the number of hours you get. It's about aligning your rest with your body's natural rhythm. When you start going to bed at a consistent time, your body learns to settle into a recovery cycle. You wake up with clarity instead of fog. You move through your day with energy instead of exhaustion. Many people chase productivity with caffeine and hustle, but ignore the one thing that truly rebuilds their strength: sleep. When you're constantly tired, everything feels harder than it really is. Small tasks feel overwhelming. Motivation disappears. You try to push through, but your tank is empty. That's not strength. That's slow burnout. Going to sleep late steals from your tomorrow. You may get some extra screen time or stay up catching up on distractions, but the cost shows up the next day. When your body drags, your mood drops, and your performance dips. When you sleep on time, your brain starts to repair itself. Your memory sharpens. Your stress levels drop. Your hormones balance. You don't need to wait for exhaustion to force you to rest. You can choose to build a habit where rest is respected, not treated as an afterthought. This is how real energy is built. Not with sugar, not with stimulants, but with consistent, deep rest. The moment you begin honoring your sleep, you start reclaiming the energy that was always available to you. You begin to notice how your thinking improves. You stop snapping over small things. You become more patient. You make better decisions. You move through your tasks without dragging your feet. Energy isn't something you chase. It's something you protect. And it starts the night before. There's a discipline in saying, it's time to stop and sleep. It means you care about your progress enough to prepare for tomorrow. It's easy to say, just a little longer and stay up. But that time is never free. Your focus pays for it. Your energy pays for it. And over time, your body starts to break down because recovery isn't optional. It's essential. The most successful people don't stay up late doing meaningless things. They protect their time, including their rest, because they know the value of showing up, refreshed, present, and clear-minded. When you train yourself to sleep on time, you build rhythm in your life. You give your brain a shutdown signal and let it recover. Your muscles relax. Your stress levels drop. Your nervous system resets. You're not just resting your body. You're preparing yourself to be sharper, calmer, and more effective. And when this becomes a habit, your whole system functions better. You wake up earlier, not because you force yourself, but because your body is done resting. And when you wake up with energy, it changes how you approach your entire day. You don't need to chase some magical productivity hack. You need to respect your body's need for consistent, structured rest. Think about how many days you've started tired, trying to compensate with coffee, trying to fake alertness while your brain screams for recovery. You can avoid that. You can make the decision today to sleep earlier, to prioritize rest the way you prioritize your goals. Because without energy, goals become harder to pursue. Everything starts with your energy, and your energy starts with your sleep. Discipline isn't just about what you do when you're awake. It's also about what you choose when it's time to stop. If you keep pushing into the night, telling yourself you'll catch up later, you're choosing short-term activity over long-term strength. But when you build the habit of sleeping on time, you're choosing to show up stronger tomorrow. You're choosing to protect your health, your mind, your future. That one decision each night, shut it down, rest, rebuild, sets you up to win every morning. And if you want momentum, You need mornings that start with energy, not regret. Late nights, filled with noise and distractions, don't add value to your life. They take from your focus, your confidence, your discipline. When you sleep on time, you don't wake up feeling behind. You feel aligned. You feel sharp. You feel capable. That's the power of this habit. It doesn't just help you recover. It helps you operate from your best self. Not the version of you that's fighting fatigue. The version that's ready, centered, and able to face challenges without draining quickly. Sleep isn't weakness. It's a tool. It's where your strength is built, in silence. It's where your focus is sharpened in stillness. If you're tired of dragging yourself through your days, start by changing your nights. Make sleep your ally. Make timing your sleep part of your strategy, not just as a routine, but as a form of respect to your future self. Each time you sleep on time, you're telling yourself, I'm preparing to show up fully tomorrow. And when you do that consistently, that preparation becomes your edge. Sleep is not a luxury. It's a foundational piece of real performance. No matter how hard you try, you can't operate at your full potential when your body hasn't recovered. If you want to think clearly, move with energy, feel emotionally balanced, and work with precision, you need to sleep like your growth depends on it. Because it does. Train yourself to stop when it's time, not when you're exhausted. That single decision can change how you show up in every other area of your life. Number 8. Learn something new to keep growing daily. Growth isn't a one-time event. It's a continuous journey that requires daily commitment. When you make learning a daily habit, you create a rhythm of improvement that steadily moves you forward. It's not about how much you learn each day, but about the consistency you build over time. Every new skill, every new idea, every new perspective adds a layer to your ability. It's like building blocks, one piece at a time, shaping the person you become and the results you produce. You have to understand that learning is not something that happens only in school or formal settings. It happens in every moment where you choose to open your mind and absorb something different. The world is full of opportunities to learn, from conversations to books, from challenges to observations. When you actively seek out new knowledge every day, you tell your brain that it matters, that you want to get better, to grow, to rise beyond what you were yesterday. When you stop learning, you stop growing. Life then becomes repetitive and stagnant. That's a dangerous place to be. The world around you keeps moving, changing, evolving. If you don't evolve with it, you get left behind. Staying curious and committed to learning is a way to keep yourself relevant and adaptable. It's how you prepare for the unexpected and how you create new possibilities in your life. Learning daily keeps your mind fresh, your thinking sharp, and your actions purposeful. The process of learning something new also teaches humility. It reminds you that no matter how much you know, there is always more to discover. That humility opens doors to growth because it keeps you teachable. You stop assuming you have all the answers and start looking for better ones. That mindset is powerful. It keeps you flexible instead of rigid. It keeps you open instead of closed. And it allows you to build on what you know rather than getting stuck in what you think you already know. You don't have to spend hours studying every day. Even small, focused chunks of learning make a difference. It could be a 5-minute video, a quick article, a conversation with someone who has a different perspective. The key is to be intentional and consistent. Those small moments add up into bigger change. When you take time each day to expand your mind, you grow your confidence and increase your ability to solve problems. You stop feeling stuck because you're constantly adding tools to your mental toolbox. Learning also sparks creativity. When you expose yourself to new ideas, you start to connect dots in ways you never thought possible. New knowledge leads to new solutions. It challenges the limits of your current thinking and opens pathways you didn't know exist. This kind of growth fuels innovation, whether in your work, your relationships, or your personal goals. That's why the habit of learning daily is essential, not just for survival, but for thriving. There will be days when learning feels hard or inconvenient, days when you're tired or distracted. But those are the days when it matters most. Commitment to daily growth isn't about motivation. It's about discipline. You choose to show up for yourself, even when it's not easy. That determination builds character and resilience. It teaches you that success comes from effort over time, not from quick wins or shortcuts. When you make learning a daily practice, you also become better at adapting to change. Life is unpredictable. New challenges come up all the time. The ability to learn quickly and adjust your approach is a skill that separates those who survive from those who thrive. You develop mental flexibility and emotional strength that allow you to navigate uncertainty with confidence. That's a form of power few people fully appreciate until they experience it for themselves. Learning every day doesn't mean you need to master everything at once. It means taking steps forward, no matter how small. It means being curious about the world and willing to grow your knowledge base. This habit turns you into a lifelong student of life. You begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You start to understand that every experience, even failures, can teach you something valuable. That perspective helps you move through setbacks without losing momentum. A growing mind attracts growth in other areas of life. When you're learning regularly, you become more interesting, more confident, and more prepared. You inspire others by your willingness to improve. You build relationships with people who share your hunger for growth. This habit creates a positive cycle where growth feeds more growth, and the possibilities expand as you expand. Your ability to learn daily also makes your goals more achievable. Instead of facing problems with frustration, you approach them with a mindset ready to find solutions. You gain skills and knowledge that make your path clearer and more manageable. You become proactive rather than reactive in how you handle challenges. The power of learning every day gives you control over your progress and your future. Start by identifying areas where you want to improve or skills you want to develop. Then commit to taking consistent action toward those goals. Use whatever resources you have: books, podcasts, online courses, mentors, or simply paying attention to your experiences. The key is persistent. Even on days when progress seems slow, your commitment to learning keeps you moving forward. As this habit becomes part of your daily life, you'll notice your mindset shift. You become more confident in your ability to handle new situations. You become more patient with yourself as you grow. You become less afraid of change because you know you can learn and adapt. This growth mindset empowers you to take on bigger challenges and pursue bigger goals with courage and clarity. Learning something new every day is more than just a habit. It's a lifestyle. It shapes who you are and what you become. It keeps you moving forward when others stop. It turns curiosity into power and information into action. When you dedicate yourself to growth, you build a future that reflects your highest potential. Every day is an opportunity to learn, grow, and become the person you are meant to be. Number 9. Surround yourself with driven and focused people. The company you keep has a huge influence on who you become. Every person you spend time with impacts your thoughts, attitudes, and actions. When you surround yourself with people who are driven and focused, you're not just gaining friends or colleagues, you're gaining a support system that pushes you forward. These people hold high standards for themselves and those around them. They act with intention and work hard to reach their goals. Being around that energy naturally pulls you into a similar mindset, shaping your habits and fueling your motivation. People who lack focus or drive can unknowingly hold you back. Their habits, conversations, and mindsets often revolve around excuses, distractions, or settling for less. Their presence can make it easier to lose your way because habits are contagious. You begin to accept lower expectations or start doubting your own ability. On the other hand, when you spend time with focused individuals, you're exposed to a mindset of persistence and resilience. Their actions become examples for you to follow. Their discipline becomes a reminder of what's possible. Surrounding yourself with driven people creates a positive environment where ambition is normalized. When you're around those who consistently take steps toward their goals, it encourages you to do the same. You share ideas, challenge each other, and celebrate progress together. This kind of environment fuels growth instead of stagnation. It prevents you from settling into comfort zones and helps you maintain clarity about what you want. Your circle becomes a source of accountability, inspiration, and practical support. The influence of focused people goes beyond motivation. They raise the quality of your thinking. Conversations with driven individuals are often filled with problem solving, goal setting, and constructive feedback. This kind of interaction sharpens your mind and broadens your perspective. You learn new strategies, gain insights from their experiences, and discover opportunities you might have missed on your own. Their commitment to their own growth encourages you to be more disciplined with your time and energy. Being around motivated people also increases your resilience. When setbacks occur, and they will, your circle helps you bounce back faster. You hear stories of persistence, strategies for overcoming obstacles, and you get reminded that failure isn't the end, but a step on the path. This shared strength builds your confidence and reduces feelings of isolation. You realize you're not alone in the struggle, and that shared understanding makes challenges easier to face. Choosing the right people to spend time with requires intention. It means evaluating your current relationships and asking yourself if they support your goals or distract from them. This isn't about cutting people off abruptly or judging others harshly. It's about being honest with yourself and making choices that align with your vision. Sometimes that means seeking new relationships with people who inspire you to be better. Other times it means setting boundaries with those who drain your energy. Investing in relationships with driven individuals can come from many places. It could be joining groups that focus on personal or professional growth. It might mean attending events, workshops, or networking opportunities where motivated people gather. It could be finding mentors who have achieved what you aspire to. The key is to be proactive about surrounding yourself with people who reflect the qualities you want to develop within yourself. When you are in the presence of driven people, their energy becomes contagious. You start waking up with more purpose, setting clearer goals, and pushing harder on your own journey. Their focus encourages you to break free from distractions and excuses. Their ambition challenges you to raise your standards, and their progress reminds you what's possible when you commit to consistent effort. The power of your environment is often underestimated. Your success is not just determined by your own effort, but by the context in which you operate. Focused people create a culture of action. They hold each other accountable. They celebrate wins but don't settle. Being part of this culture helps you internalize those same values. It becomes easier to resist distractions, maintain discipline, and keep your eyes on the prize when everyone around you is doing the same. Driven individuals often push themselves to improve continuously, and their passion is visible in how they live. Their focus on results makes conversations practical and solution-oriented. This energy creates momentum in your own life. You start looking at challenges as opportunities to grow rather than reasons to quit. You begin to understand that success is built through steady, focused effort, not luck or chance. The presence of motivated people shows you that the life you want is within reach if you commit fully. Another benefit of being around focused people is the quality of feedback you receive. Instead of vague encouragement or empty praise, you get honest, constructive input. These people care about your growth and want to see you improve. They are willing to hold you accountable and push you beyond your comfort zone. This kind of feedback, though sometimes uncomfortable, is essential for real progress. It prevents complacency and keeps you moving forward. Relationships with driven individuals also open doors. Opportunities often come through people. When you build connections with those who are advancing in their own lives, you increase your chances of collaborating, learning, and accessing resources you wouldn't have otherwise. These relationships become networks of mutual support that fuel growth for everyone involved. Spending time with focused people also influences your habits. You begin to adopt routines and behaviors that match theirs because you see the results they get. You become more organized, more disciplined, and more intentional with your time. This ripple effect changes your entire approach to work, learning, and life. The small daily actions inspired by your circle compound into meaningful progress over time. Choosing to surround yourself with driven and focused people is an investment in your future self. It's a choice to step into a community that demands your best and supports your growth. This environment creates a foundation for success that is hard to build alone. The momentum from being around motivated people keeps you inspired and on track. When motivation fades, your circle becomes your reflection. If you want to raise your standards, raise the people you spend time with. If you want to expand your vision, expand your community. If you want to grow your relationships with those who exemplify the qualities you aspire to. This is not just about friendship. It's about creating a life where your best self can emerge and thrive. Being surrounded by driven and focused people is a daily reminder that you can do more, be more, and achieve more. It's an ongoing source of energy that pushes you past doubt and distraction. It is a vital habit to cultivate for anyone serious about changing their life and reaching their full potential. The people you choose to stand with shape the path you walk. Choose wisely. Number 10. Reflect nightly to improve tomorrow's decisions. Taking time each night to reflect is one of the most valuable habits you can develop. Reflection is not just looking back. It's a purposeful examination of your day that helps you understand what worked, what didn't, and why. When you spend a few moments analyzing your actions, choices, and feelings, you create clarity that guides your future decisions. This habit builds self-awareness, which is the foundation for growth and improvement. Without reflection, mistakes are repeated and opportunities are missed. With it, you learn how to course correct and move forward stronger. Reflection requires honesty. It demands you to face the reality of your day without excuses or blame. This can be uncomfortable, but it's necessary. When you ask yourself questions like, what did I do well, and what could I have done differently? You gain insight into your habits and mindset. You identify patterns, both good and bad, that shape your outcomes. This awareness empowers you to take control of your behavior instead of letting it control you. The act of reflecting each night is a form of personal leadership, where you take responsibility for your growth. When you reflect regularly, you also become more mindful of how your decisions impact your goals. You start to see the connection between daily actions and long-term results. This perspective keeps you aligned with what matters most. You learn to prioritize better and avoid distractions that pull you away from your purpose. Reflection reveals the small changes that can have big effects. It shows you how to build momentum by reinforcing positive habits and eliminating what doesn't serve you. A consistent reflection practice sharpens your judgment. Over time, you become quicker at recognizing what works and what doesn't. You develop a mental framework that helps you make better choices throughout your day. Instead of reacting blindly, you respond with intention. This leads to greater effectiveness in your work and personal life. You avoid costly mistakes and seize opportunities that might otherwise pass unnoticed. Reflection turns experience into wisdom. The process can be simple. Find a quiet moment before bed to think about your day. What were your biggest wins? What challenges did you face? How did you handle them? What lessons did you learn? Writing down your thoughts can be especially powerful. Putting your reflections on paper helps organize your thinking and creates a record to review later. This ongoing dialogue with yourself builds a stronger connection to your goals and values. Reflection also strengthens emotional intelligence. By reviewing your feelings and reactions, you learn how to manage stress and improve your relationships. You recognize triggers that cause frustration or anxiety and find ways to address them. This self-knowledge helps you approach tomorrow with a calmer, more balanced mindset. Emotional control is critical for making smart decisions under pressure. Taking time to reflect each night signals that you value growth. It shows that you care about the direction of your life and are willing to invest effort in improving it. This habit builds confidence because you know you're learning and adapting constantly. Confidence grows not from perfection, but from the willingness to improve consistently. Reflection fosters that willingness by turning setbacks into lessons and progress into motivation. Without reflection, it's easy to get stuck repeating the same mistakes. You might blame external circumstances or feel helpless about your situation. Reflection breaks this cycle by shining light on your own role in your outcome. You gain a clearer understanding of your choices and how they influence your life. This clarity opens doors to new possibilities. You stop feeling like a victim of circumstance and start feeling like the author of your own story. The habit of nightly reflection also improves your planning. When you understand what happened today, you can set smarter goals for tomorrow. You adjust your strategy based on real experience rather than guesswork. This flexibility makes your efforts more productive and less frustrating. Reflection is a tool for continuous improvement that keeps you on track even when life gets complicated. Many successful people credit reflection as a key part of their routine. They recognize that progress is not accidental, but the result of deliberate evaluation and adjustment. Reflection creates a feedback loop that turns everyday experiences into growth opportunities. It transforms your life into a learning journey where each day builds on the last. The benefits of reflection extend beyond productivity. It nurtures gratitude and humility by helping you see how far you've come and where you still need to grow. It cultivates patience because you learn that progress takes time and effort. Reflection develops resilience by teaching you to view challenges as temporary and solvable. To start reflecting tonight, focus on what matters most to you. Ask yourself how your actions aligned with your values and goals. Consider what you can do differently to improve. Remember that reflection is not about judging yourself harshly. It's about understanding yourself deeply. Approach it with curiosity and kindness. As this habit takes root, you'll notice your decisions become clearer, your actions more purposeful, and your progress more steady. Reflection turns everyday moments into stepping stones toward a better tomorrow. It gives you the insight and wisdom to shape your future with intention. The practice of reviewing your day isn't a chore, it's an investment in becoming the person you want to be.